Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and once again, we're going to be talking about Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Oh my God, the movie. The movie's out. The movie's doing gangbusters, right? Crossed $500 million today. Well on its way to $1 billion. Well on its way to probably outgrossing The Last Jedi and potentially, I don't know, fixing Star Wars. It's been 2 years of crazy, 2 years of over-the-top nonsense from a particular group of people here on YouTube called the Fandom Menace, and I want to respond to something that I saw today that came up yesterday on Geeks and Gamers channel. Now, I do want to make this abundantly clear in the beginning that I am not going to be attacking Jeremy on a personal level. He knows I don't like him. He doesn't like me, and that's where it's going to stay. But what I want to talk about here is when Jeremy brings up certain things in regards to the Rise of Skywalker, you start to see the mask slip. In fact, one of the greatest Freudian slips that I've seen come out of him ever came out in this video talking about the Rise of Skywalker, and it's bouncing back with strong box office numbers. To which case, and I want to be fair here, I want to be abundantly fair. That's a decent headline. That's not clickbait. It did bounce back from underperforming over the weekend. That's true. There's reasons for that. A lot of it has to do with the fact that they opened it right before the busiest shopping day of the year outside of Black Friday. And even the Saturday before Christmas oftentimes is busier than Black Friday. So people waited until they got all their holiday shopping done, their families were in town, and they've been going to see the movie. In this video, this 4-minute some odd video that Jeremy put out, is interesting to watch because this is him realizing that they don't have a narrative anymore in regards to the Rise of Skywalker. They tried everything that they could. They said, oh, these leaks that came out of Reddit, they're terrible, terrible, terrible. You know what? And that's probably the only one they've really got any real kind of ground to stand on, that they came out of Reddit. They didn't make them themselves. Doomcock never leaked them. He read them on Reddit like the rest of us did. So there's that. You've also got the test screenings, in which case Jeremy made a video response to my friend Lewis from Nerd Report, who had gone to his sources at Bad Robot and got the intel, got the inside scoop for what's going on with test screenings and the George Lucas cut and how it's all nonsense. And the best way for Jeremy to respond, and I'm still waiting for that apology, by the way, is to call my friend a racist. Now, my friend, as I have showcased before, did go to the world premiere of the movie. So a person who lives and operates in LA, who is part of what you would call access media, has greater sources, more verifiable sources to their reporting than someone who hides behind a mask and reports on the news as it's given to him via an anonymous email or something like that, which is, again, the whole point of this narrative was running the name of the Rise of Skywalker into the ground, making sure that anyone who wanted to see this movie was going to do so with as negative of intentions as humanly possible. And I think today, I think they finally realized that the jig is up, so to speak, right? That the jig is up. So just listen to the first few seconds of this video.
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, The Rise of Skywalker has a massive Christmas day with 35 million, which is the second best ever for the holiday, and that has to be noted. It's a big number. There's no way to spin that one.
And I love that right there, because that's him being honest, right? You don't get a lot of that out of Jeremy in his videos, because Jeremy in his videos versus Jeremy in real life is a completely different person. Right. I've talked to multiple people who have met Jeremy in real life, and they all say the same thing. He's a really, really, really nice guy, that he's a very funny guy to be around, and he's a good dude to be around. I hear that a lot from people. And I tried meeting him at a Comic-Con. I wanted to. I tweeted at him. We didn't get a chance to meet up. Maybe one day in the future, maybe Star Wars Celebration this next year. There's that. I hear he's a nice guy to meet in person. But Jeremy, the character, is playing a character. But that character is who people believe is being accurate. And that, again, is part of my biggest complaint with the Fandom Menace, my biggest complaint with Jeremy as a content creator, is people treat what he says as truth when he openly admits to doing it for cash. And let me bring up this other clip here from my friend Creationist Cat's video, which gives you, an admission from Jeremy. And not just him, but others that show you that they just play it up for some serious green.
And also, if you think they don't have another agenda as well...
I will be the first to admit that I have profited decently off the back of horrible movie Captain Marvel.
She's made 18 videos about Captain Marvel / Brie Larson over the last month. There's got to be a better use of her time and energy. Really? Can you think of one that would involve me making as much money as I do off of these videos?
Brie Larson videos right now are algorithm gold on YouTube.
Yeah.
See what I'm talking about there? Right? And that's the game that they openly admit to playing. So when Jeremy openly admits to playing that game in a car video, but then comes back and says this.
What's up, Geeks and Gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, the Rise of Skywalker has a massive Christmas day with 35 million, which is the second best ever for the holiday, and that has to be noted. It's a big number. There's no way to spin that one.
Right? There's no way to spin it. There's no way to deny it. The movie is making a lot of money. And the reason why I'm bringing it up and the reason why I'm pointing to that clip is because later in the video, you can tell that he is desperate to try to find a way to continue to spin the narrative, right? And I pulled out this other little clip too. This is a little one, but it just gives you, just watch him as he tries to escalate the situation, right? As he tries to escalate the emotion in order to keep the audience engaged because he's kind of running out of things to say.
I did not like this movie. I did not like what this movie did to the lore. I did not like the fact that it continued to expose that Disney had no plan. I didn't like the fact that there were, well, I like the fact that there were FU moments to Rian Johnson, but at the same time, those FU moments to Rian Johnson only confirmed that you guys had no plan on what you were doing.
See? Right? Kind of starts off one way, starts ramping itself up in order to get your emotional attention, because that's all it is. It's emotional manipulation. When I talk about people like the Fandom Menace, when I talk about that particular movement, they don't operate using facts. They operate using emotion, and they manipulate it quite well. I give them a lot of credit for how they play the game. I don't like a single second of it because I have to then deal with the fallout from that, right? Imagine having, like, you know, being a friends with someone who's in an abusive relationship. This is the best way I can describe it. Imagine them being in an abusive relationship, and they always come to you, and they've just been like completely gaslit. They've been beaten down, and you're then trying to explain to them that they're in this abusive relationship. Well, in this case, the Fandom Menace are the people who are the abusers in the situation because they lie to their audience so frequently, so greatly. They play it up, they hyperbolize everything, they make it out to be worse than it actually ever is, and they try to run it into the ground, at least in the case of Star Wars, as much as they possibly can. And then the rest of us who talk about this from a fan perspective or from a logical, rational, this is how the industry works perspective, we then have to deal with the people that have been gaslit by this organization who come on in and that just completely they derail everything because they don't understand how the industry works, and they listen to these thought leaders that are attempting to tell them how it works, but they don't have any iota themselves, right? The analogy I've used before is, you know, if I want to, let's say, change the spark plugs on my car, or maybe that's too easy. Maybe that's too easy. If I want to change the alternator on my car, I'm not going to watch a series of YouTube videos on how to do it. I'm going to go and pay someone who's a mechanic to actually go and do it, right? You wouldn't go to someone you don't know to fix something on your car because you don't know if they're going to get it right or they're going to get it wrong. You'd want a professional who at least understands how this stuff works. And that's the analogy that I use. And you can like it or not like it, but that's how I choose to explain it. And I think a lot of people out there are starting to fundamentally get that. And I've been getting a lot of messages from people that have been telling me that they've been unsubscribing from these channels, that they've been clicking unsubscribe from Jeremy, from Geeks and Gamers, from all of those people because they're tired of the negativity. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of the BS. And I don't want them unsubscribing from to make it a virtue signal that they're unsubscribing. I'm not telling anyone to do that. You can like who you want to like. I know people that watch Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace because of the entertainment value they get from laughing at them constantly. But we are seeing this massive shift in regards to how certain people are going to be looking at them in the future. The Rise of Skywalker was kind of like the culmination of the Fandom Menace. With Jeremy's admission there that there's no way to spin it, it's over. I mean, it's done. Even that second clip was like, well, I hate the movie, but at least they acknowledge they listened to fans. They went after a few moments to Rian Johnson. It tells you a lot about the fact that they're stretching, that they're so desperately stretching to try and get this to a place where they need it to be in order to keep you emotionally triggered, to keep you coming back for more because it hits that dopamine hit every single time. This is the problem with movements like this. They run out of steam eventually. And I asked this question on Twitter a long time ago. I said, what if the Rise of Skywalker is good? What's going to happen to the Fandom Menace? And I also said, what if Mandalorian is good too? Well, we know Mandalorian is great. Season finales in a couple hours, which is freaking amazing. And then we also know that The Rise of Skywalker is doing very well financially. What's going to happen now? Well, you start running out of steam. You start running out of things to go after. Are they going to go after Black Widow next because it's the next female-led movie? Scarlett Johansson's in SJW. Is that going to be the next topic? But the trailer looks pretty good, and a lot of people really like Black Widow, and they have no reason to not like the character. Unlike Brie Larson, who had a public display going after that, and she's kind of smug in real life, Scarlett Johansson is the highest-paid actress in Hollywood and knows how to navigate this fight. If you don't have something to fight, you eventually start to die. You eventually start to turn to infighting. You really do. So, like I said, I'm not attacking Jeremy here. I think he's an intelligent guy. What I want from him is more honesty. What I want from everyone in the Fandom Menace is more honesty. There was honesty in the early days of it. There was honesty when it was The Last Jedi was not a good movie. And there's honesty when it was pushing back against Rian Johnson or some of the blue check marks on Twitter. But then it evolved, or it devolved, so to speak. It turned into just, we need to be mad all the time at everything, at anything that can potentially get us clicks, potentially get us views. And if anyone comes at us like that, anyone criticizes us for that, that is our go back. That is our fallback, is we're doing it for money. We wear it like armor. You can't touch us. That's true. If you want to quote the Tyrion Lannister bit from the season premiere or the series premiere of Game of Thrones, that is a very true statement to make. But people have thresholds for what they're willing to deal with. They have thresholds for how far they're willing to go with the properties that they want to support. And at the end of the day, the Fandom Menace has run out of steam. Because when you, Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, one of the leaders, if not the leader of the Fandom Menace, comes out and says this is a lot of money and there's no way to spin it, and then go on to try to find ways in the video of getting back to that point of anger and rage, even though it starts to kind of fail because you kind of diminish your own argument, it's out of gas. It's out of steam. The mask is off. That was the biggest Freudian slip I've seen all year. And it happened on Christmas, which I'm not going to lie, felt very, very apropos, right? It was a Christmas miracle, to say the very least. So that being said, at the end of this, allow me just to kind of say one more thing. Please do not attack Jeremy. I don't want that. He doesn't want that. No one here wants that. If you are going to watch this content, by all means, enjoy the content. All I would ask as a content creator who has years of experience working in this field on a multitude of different areas would be that you take it all with an absolute grain of salt. Take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own due diligence and do your own research. Giving into the cult of personality is what brought us to this point 2 years later, where these people literally come out and say that they do it just for money. They're not about actually enacting change. They're just about fattening their pocketbooks. They're about using you as emotional piggy banks in order to get you to click on stuff and buy their merch. I just want you to be aware of it. I want you to see it with your own two eyes, and I want you to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. So again, curious to know your thoughts and your opinions. If you want to let me know, you can leave me down in the comment section, or you can check out the video or check out our Discord link. There's an ad right here. I'll see you guys later. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to keep the conversation going, and if you made it this far, you clearly do, come on in and join the Discord. Link is in the video description. Can't wait to see you there. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.